savage. I will not be playing. You stuck at your shitty job, you are still the same.
Alrighty, hello everyone, and welcome to the first part of the NSOI tutorial casting series. So, my name is Cash from New School Originals, and we found that hosting the New School Originals Invitationals, the PS4 Scrim League 4 Siege, that there's been some discrepancies with teaching casters as to how to cast and the difficulties with developing your skills as a caster, with not only being the cam hoster for these custom matches, but being the caster as well. You have to play a little bit of analyst, you have to play a little bit around with the camera angles and who you are actually spectating. It's a lot of things going on simultaneously, and it makes our job as a PS4 caster a little bit more difficult. Now, Ubi does not have anything different set up with how custom games can be cast in. There's only one spectator slot, and we have to work with what we have. We have been experimenting a little bit with duo casting, but this tutorial is really just going to cover the utmost basics of solo casting. I do want to dive a little bit more as this series progresses, but we just found that it was an overwhelming people that expected this video, they wanted this video, they want to hone their craft, and who am I to stop them? So, first things first, I'm going to be showing you how to archive your streams. One of the biggest things we're running into is match VODs are unfortunately being deleted or not being saved entirely. So the only thing we have to recover some streams are the player stream, which is okay. However, you don't get the full overview, you don't get as much detail from those streams. That and only clips are being saved. So first things first, for my people who stream on YouTube, this is gonna be for you. Now, I don't use YouTube that much. This is what my understanding of how to archive videos. If there's a discrepancy, if I mess up, please feel free to leave a comment below. We do need to address these issues as they progress on. So you're first going to want to go to the top right corner, upload a video, go live. Of course, we're going to be going live here. Now, I'm not going to create an event. I'm not a huge fan of these kind of things. We're just not going to be doing that. So I'm just going to, keep blocking out all my stuff here. I'm just going to do new stream. Now, it's going to ask just a whole ton of portion here. So I'm going to go to my encoder here. That's going to be the bottom right, is if this is your first ever stream. Now, I'm not going to go live on YouTube. However, I will just show you this. So they have your creator studio. This is going to be your left panel. It's going to look very familiar to Twitch if you're used to twitch.tv. And then you're going to go stream now. Now, this is going to be for those people that are used to, say, your uploading menu, your name, description, category, this and that. Now, for a few of these sites, I don't use other streaming sites besides Twitch. However, I know there is one named Mixer. If you're looking for something that is a little bit more in depth, it is generally going to be in advanced settings or in a setting within a setting, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go over to advanced setting here. Now, in my bottom right portion, you're going to see recording. Now, unfortunately, the issue is that it is almost assumed that these videos are going to be archived, and we lose a lot of potential with that. The VODs aren't saved. Casters just casted for people that are watching it live, but we stream when players are available. That is the end of the day. We cannot force a player to play when they cannot play. So those people who can't watch it live, we do have EU players. Those people that can't watch the VOD, it's just unfortunately a mix-up for all. So you're going to want to put this in automatically make archive unlisted once the stream has ended. That's going to archive your video. It's going to unlist it, because a huge problem YouTube streamers run into is that it gets put into this private, and then I don't like the video manager of YouTube. I really don't. It's not that user-friendly. The preferences are a little all over the place, but automatically make archive unlisted once the stream has ended. That's it. Save changes, and you're all set from there, because I believe the rest here is already defaulted. That is going to be the one thing that isn't defaulted. Alrighty, so this is for my people who stream back onto Twitch. This is where I'm most familiar with. And this Twitch does get a little bit more in depth. It's not just pressing advanced settings, but you're going to go to channel here. Or sorry, you're going to go to video producer, and then this is where you're going to go into the top left portion here. See, it's sort of the same column as we saw in YouTube, but you just go down to settings, you go down to channel, and then you'll see right here, store past broadcast. So automatically save broadcast for up to 14 days, 60 days for partners, turbo, and prime users. That's already turned on for me. I turned it off, turn it back on, and you're all set. So remember, that is going to be under video producer. Then you're going to go in the left column side settings channel, bam, right there. Now, you would think you would be under, say, video producer, video moderation, collections, anything of that. No, it has to be VODed before it gets to that portion. It has to be archived and saved before you actually get to these producers, because you'll see that's just, these are all my past broadcast. And then just a heads up for those who are concerned. So just because your video is archived does not mean it is saved entirely. So you'll see, as you know, this is the first practice ever with Waifu Warriors. Unfortunately, that NSOI team is now disbanded, but it is expiring in 1 day. Now, it's a pretty decent chunk of time. That's November 28th, 2018. It's 1/27/2019. So, I mean, as an affiliate, that's a good amount of time for me to, you know, recover any footage I need to get. But I'm just going to let that expire. I just let them hang on as long as they want, just in case one of my players want to go back and view it. So, that's all. Now we have YouTube and Twitch archived for videos. That is one of the utmost biggest issues we have in the league. So fortunately, we have that out. Now, it's gonna be a little strange. My webcam is behind me for, you know, previous streams, but I'm gonna be using this is the last match I streamed, and it was Summit versus TKO in our NSOI league. Now, this is a duo cast. However, we tested it out with having another caster use the camera, host the match, spectate it, and share play it with me via the PlayStation Party. Now, this is a really good and works quite well, viable solution to, well, I can't stream two things at once, or I can't share play and stream at the same time, or else my internet can't keep up with the bitrate. So I had Mr. Bean, and you know, big shout out to him, share play this with me. He was the cam master for the whole entire match, and we sort of duo casted. However, this was the first time ever solo casting, which is why I feel this match is very appropriate, because if you notice, I start to give him tips. I start to kind of try to bring him in, and then I let him take over. See, the biggest issues with solo casting is that, one, there's a lot of dead air. Now, dead air is described as just when nothing's being spoken, when you're not talking, when it's just kind of dead in the air, if you will. Those are those kind of pivotal matches in the match, or pivotal moments in the matches where there's a lot going on. It's overwhelming the caster. It may overwhelm the spectator, or there's a whole bunch of nothing going on, and you don't have a lot of filler words for those kind of moments. That's when you want to find whatever moment or find something that's going on and elaborate upon it. Now, a huge issue casters have is speaking on what's going on at that exact time. So here we are at 25 seconds into the preparation phase, or 25 seconds left. Now, most casters, unfortunately, will be speaking on what's going on, or sorry, this is 25 seconds left in the round anyway. Most casters will be talking about what's going on. So if you look, you'll see a reinforcement here. You'll see reinforcements going down on here. And then, you know, just you have a mirror setup going there, this and that. Just as awkward as that sentence I just said was, that's how it sounds live. It's not entertaining to hear a caster go, oh, well, you have Zach Adder as Doc reinforcing the east wall, I can't remember, on top of yellow stairs for B, or you know, for site B for console office. It's just when you're kind of telling them something that's in their face and kind of just very obvious, it does not help. However, a lot of part of casting is digging into things that aren't normal. So although it's a ground rule, don't talk about the reinforcements, don't talk about what's going on, you can always talk about the potential of those reinforcements. So say, I'm going to mute this real fast, and you may see, you know, my webcam move behind me. My apologies. But you see I'm running around a little bit. They got, you know, like chickens with their head cut off. You see, you know, Zach pop this drone. Now, in a couple seconds, we switch over to here. Now, if you see what's going on with how Reels of, I believe is Reels of Summit, I'm going to pause it right here. So that whole entire portion of this map is now locked down. You see Teal's reinforcing, he's putting a castle, we have Amira in break room watching over this whole entire point of entry. We have another castle right here and another reinforcement right here. Now, normally, a caster should not be speaking on what's going on with the reinforcements. However, that is sort of the same rules as if. You shouldn't be talking about the reinforcements unless if there's something like this going down. Now, this is a very unique hold we have here. That's a lot of utility. That is, overall, I believe that is 4 reinforcements going down, 1 black mirror, and 2 castle barricades. That is huge for a defensive team. That is a very in-your-face strat. You want to elaborate on that. So if there's nothing else occurring that you were speaking about from the last round, this player doing this, or ninja defuse from the last round, it was so amazing. We are now 2-4. If there's nothing else being immediately covered, you can go straight to what's going on with how the team's set up. So I can immediately elaborate and go, this is a heavy east side hold we have here from Summit. They are watching over this room, making sure that if there's a Blackbeard rappelling up on this wall, watching over double window, that they have no sight or advantage over copy room. This totally prevents any rotations going in and preventing, say, a thermite from blowing open long hall if there was no way for them to get in besides spiral. You can kind of dig in as to how this is going to affect the match, because that is what strats are supposed to do. Strats are a very uniquely developed play made by the team to hold or push. And the only thing we see in the first moments of a match is the preparation phase. The only ones that are open and active are the defending operators using their utilities such as reinforcements, Jaeger ADSs. So that is when you start to kind of cover those aspects, is when you start seeing really unique things, right? Really a rotation hole you've never seen before, barricades put where they normally don't go, castle barricades, or a black mirror watching all one side, because this is a monumentous, hold against a very immense push, or at least the opportunity for a push. Now that we have that out of the way, if there isn't a unique thing going on, there isn't a huge strat from Summit going on right before of a match, you start to then go into, say, operator picks. Now, a lot of people will read off the operators, just down by the line. Oh, okay, so Summit has Mute, Castle, Mira, Doc, and Legion, while the attacking squad TKO is Blackbeard, Ash, Dokkaebi, Thatcher, and Thermite. That's kind of boring. That's kind of obvious. Now, of course, there are going to be newer players or new, community members as a whole, viewers that aren't used to Siege, and some of those moments are really nice to go over, to elaborate. It's such as when you learn something in school and then they just draw it up on the blackboard again, just that way it gets digested into you, or something of that matter. It's elaborated upon, it's explained, and it's kind of nice for those who may have been a little confused about what's going on. However, it is not needed every single round. That was an issue I found myself going over, because there was almost nothing to talk about. Remember, we are casting and we're talking to ourselves. We sound a little crazy. So as much as you can spice it up, make it entertaining for those, so that way you're just not kind of pointing out the only things that you see, because there's a lot of given stuff on a screen or in the HUD for Siege when you go in. You don't need to say that there's 6 seconds left in the preparation phase. You don't need to say that it's 2-4, and you don't need to say that TKO's on the attacking side every time they're attacking. However, if TKO and Summit just switched, and it's rounds, I believe they switch at 6 now, 6 or 7, from the new Pro League rules, then you can go as, oh, now we have a switch up, or we now have a toss up in the match. We have Summit on attacking. Now they've been doing phenomenal on the defensive side. Let's see if their their cohesion or their synergy is going to work for them on the defending side. Yada yada yada. I may be flubbing some words here, but the essence is still there. So if there's nothing else to talk about, don't go straight for the operators. Don't go straight for the score. You go for a really unique strat, or you go for what could happen. Now, if you ever look at X-Orbit player Kickstar, one of the best shoutcasters for ESL or caster in general, the reason why he is such a phenomenal caster is that he was an ex-Pro League player. I don't know if it was year 1, season 1, or what those dates fall upon, but he really does go in depth with how plays can fan out depending how a player is going to push. And that's kind of something I pride myself on as well. I'm an IGL. That is an IGL and an entry fragger. That is a lot of game sense you're playing with there. So for Kickstar, he can tell you that if this full team was to say Lion and then 5 stack it, just go up spiral. Here's why that's not going to work. Maybe there's a castle barricade right here and they didn't have that ash. Or legion mines, all 7 of them magically got given to Dova here in the preparation phase, and all of them were on spiral, so they would immediately be able to give the call out that it's a hard push, this and that. You have to be able to kind of assess what could happen. You can have predictions, you can kind of read something off. So for here, you have reels behind the black mirror. You can kind of, after you read off how this strat has the potential to, stop this push, you can kind of elaborate on the fact that, well, they can quickly acknowledge with drones that this side is going to be the path with the heaviest resistance. So they may go for a top yellow push, a spiral push. They have Blackbeard. They can have him rappel up bathroom, console, or connector window. I believe TKO had him go up balcony a lot and cover over A site. You have Dokkaebi, two logic bombs. How many roamers have there been in the match? Kind of pay attention as to what utility is being used and what kind of players we're seeing, because the moment you kind of start to assess who are the fraggers, who are the support players, you can start then to discover how a team's going to play and how these rounds are going to go about. So if you find out that TKO's Thermite really generally goes for either the bathroom wall back over, let's see if I can, right here, or say bathroom wall or into console, and they like to blow top of yellow into these sites here or into an advantage point for the site, that's when you can sort of digest how these rounds are going to start playing, how they're going to go about. You have a Ashe and a Dokkaebi. That is an excellent roam clearing squad. And if you know that they're both the fraggers of the team, or one's a fragger, one's a information support, you can determine as whether or not are they going to push lobby and go through in piano, make sure that they flush out, say for example the mute may be roaming, because this is the only utility. Mute and castle may be the only people roaming, as they are, once their utility's spent, they're spent. The only reason why most mutes don't roam is that nitros are a diffuser defensive kind of mechanism there, because one nitro stops the plant, kills whoever's in the area, or at least injures them. And then you can kind of play on as to how those operators have utility later on. Now, when I said earlier, don't cover these operators, you can do it if they're kind of unique, or if they kind of shout something in your face. So we only have a Blackbeard and a Dokkaebi here that are in terms of, not your just basic operators. Now, if you had Blackbeard, Jackal, Dokkaebi, Lion, and Blitz, that's a rush. That's going to be a really aggressive in-your-face push. When that first EE1D goes down, there's going to be a whole lot of events covering it. And this is where it's going to bring me to the point of play-by-play analysis. A lot of players, unfortunately, or players and casters, unfortunately, get tunnel vision. And this is one of those curses that are just really hard to break, especially when you're fumbling over words, you're trying to find a sentence that kind of equate to the moment that's going on. So I'm going to try to find real fast. I believe later in this round, Teal gets into a 1v5. And yes, he does. And you can kind of hear me continuing, and I'll get rid of my webcam just for the sake of this round. But Teal here gets into a 1v4 or a 1v5. I can't remember the exact numbers. And I go into each different play that occurs. So when a player frags out another player, is that is something that is mentionably worthy. When of course, consecutive kills, anything like that. But not only can I go Teal killed this player, I can go Teal killed, he gets the final kill, but let me use him as an example. Teal killed Red Knight. Now that is the Blackbeard off the board. That is 2 shields and balcony coverage off of A. That'll relieve a lot of stress on the defensive operators rotating in and out of the site here. You can just anything like that. Teal kills Dokkaebi. That is only one logic bomb was able to go down, so that gives the roamers a little bit more access to kind of rotate around the site. They can push up spiral here while we see more of a balcony or rappel push up the south end of the building. You can play with how much is going on with the moment that occurs. So I'm going to get rid of my webcam. I'm going to cut my mic for a second, and I'm going to have you guys listen to how I play-by-play analysis Teal here, because of course, it may not be Parker level. However, this is an example of play-by-play. So allow me just one moment. Doc earlier, that was mute. So that's mute and Lesion off the board. Now Red will be taking out Zach. That is now to Doc out of connector, leaving no defending operators actually on site. We have Teal now just rotating in, but with a Blackbeard watching over balcony and a shield up, that's going to be really difficult for a contest to happen. Our first logic bomb will go down. Teal will be rotating throughout the site, seeing he can better angle and eliminate this Blackbeard watching over his balcony. Cowardly will get his second kill out, and it's all up to Teal. Is a 1v5 in sight, getting peeked by the Blackbeard of TKO. He's going to rotate out. There's a breach charge going down an admin for Thermite. He's going to make this a 1v4 as he eliminates the Thatcher of the team. Now, YouTube boy, as Ash is going to be planting the diffuser, and Cowardly might be fragged out here as he pushes. That is going to be now a 1v3, as that is now the Dokkaebi out of the way for Summit. So he's going to be making the rotate up yellow stairs. Now with the 7-second defusal time, it's a lot of ground you have to cover as a defender to really make this push a possible thing and a retake possible. So a mark will go out that long is happening, and Red will finally complete the kill, as Teal really did a good job, in my opinion, at holding them back as the best as he could. But unfortunately, with that many bodies and that much utility still on the board, such as a Blackbeard, that is such a hard retake to do. So I give him kudos. He was making such excellent rotates out and picking fights that he knew he could win. All right, I'm back. So, of course, a little bit of flubbing on words there, here and there. That's not a perfect example. However, that was one example that was at least very notable to myself. So, you go through utility that is lost. You go through how these plays are going about. Because if I just kept saying, Teal killed this guy, Teal killed this guy, and now it's a 1v3, oh, and this guy killed Teal. Like, it's not as entertaining as when you really emphasize the moment and kind of push the viewer on the edge of their seats, because anyone can read the kill feed. Anyone can watch the match. We have eyes, we have ears, and and not to push that upon the spectator to do so, but you kind of want to get them further into the moment. How much does that kill really mean? How much is really going on in the round? Now, with how much I was kind of spitting out there, there's a lot of information being relayed. What is the logic bomb? What is an EE1D? How does it affect the match? This and that. There is a lot of variables that play into a situation. So not only is he killing the Dokkaebi of TKO, but he's also being logic bombed at the same time. So his phone is relaying off where he's at while being live marked by a drone. With the Dokkaebi off the board, he could reset his phone. However, there's still being marks and information relayed to TKO, where the last remaining member of Summit is going to be pushing from. You have to play with how much is being given to you. And some players don't realize how much is going on in the round. If you ever had any of those moments where someone should have called that out, or, oh no, I didn't realize that was open. Sometimes the viewer has that moments as well. So you really have to kind of give them information they may not have been relayed. So kind of take a step back, and you don't always have to be in first person view, which is why I really do give my kudos to Mr. Bean. He did an excellent job really camming that whole entire situation. He bird eye viewed it when he needed to, and then he switched back to Castle Teal when he didn't have to. Those bird eye perspectives just show you everything. They really are in the game for a reason. It shows you level by level, site by site, player by player. It shows you where all the drones are, and it looks like a game of chess being played from an eagle eye view. So that's why when you switch over the first person, you're giving the viewer sort of what they want. Everyone wants to see more first person. If we could have 10 screens here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for each player first person view, I'm sure there's some people that would like to watch that, and then if I were to just click on Teal's name, just pop up only Teal's. But that would then be almost camming for themselves. We don't exactly have that option here. So you want to find where a bird eye view looks really good, and gives more information to the viewer than they may even realize is being given to them. And then you want to switch back to the first person role when something's about to happen, when a pivotal gunfight is about to go through, when it's a 1v1 situation and the diffuser's down and it's a bandit that has to peek a jackal. Both of them have excellent shots on each other. Bandit's about to pre-fire. One of their first person angles is really going to be more pivotal than the overhead, because the overhead, as much information as it relays, it is just simply not as exciting. It's more of a caster's utility rather than a player's utility to kind of just overview and relay what's going on. So with that being said, you have what operators are being taken off the board, how much is that a loss to their team, what utility, did they spend at least while they were remaining, such as a rook. If a rook gets spent in the middle of the round and is one of the first entry frags for the attacking team, that's not a whole lot, as those plates go down during the preparation phase, and most attackers generally maybe their one vest is left behind, but besides that, that's not a lot for a caster to kind of explain. However, if a glass gets pre-fired and eliminated during a smoke while plant's going down, there's no thermal scope to now watch the thermite from planting, or watch over the thermite's shoulder while he is planting. Those kind of moments and that kind of information, it may be repetitive or tedious for, say, a repeated veteran of Siege to hear, but it does add more emphasis to that moment. It kind of opens up how suspenseful it is, because really getting them on the edge of their seat, speeding up your voice, talking in an escalated kind of manner, really putting focus on how this is going to go down, and that is how you get someone elevated. That is how you elevate the match. That is how you get viewers hyped up. Now, we don't all have this, the two giant sticks that say Cloud9 on them that you can just kind of smack when you're at a LAN event. However, if you can get someone hyped up in one of these matches, chances are they'll come back and they'll watch the next one, even if their friends aren't on it, even if they don't know anyone in the match. It's still the same series. It's still the same caster. Let's see how many repeat viewers we can get. So this is going to be the ending of this video. That is now the first part of hopefully a many-part casting to series. I know there's a lot of topics to cover. I just wanted to get as much as I could, as quickly as I could, into this video, because simply put, there's a lot of learning to be done with casting. There's not a 100% casting, go here, do this, and you're golden. Because what sets aside casters are their uniqueness in how they cast, their speaking methods, how well they sound, how fluent they sound, and a lot of variables. Because even the best caster may have an off day, even some of the best teams may have an off day, and it's really just up to us to expound upon these opportunities. Now, the last thing I will go on about, and I'm going to mute this match while doing so, is that at the beginning of a match, a lot of cams will focus on the reinforcements, even when there isn't strats. The preparation phase is very pivotal in the event for a game. The only thing I want to leave off is that really the easiest way to cam, because we are camming for ourselves and we are solo casting, is that you want to kind of find where the most exciting point is going to be. So see, it's already started. So this is where Bean did a great job. You either want to find the entry fragger for the attack team, and you want to find as to where their entry point is looking like it's going to be, or you're going to want to find a defender taking on a really risky spawn peek or hop out, whatever you may like. That is the only last bit of information I want to cover before I call this one a day, because that was one piece I just wanted to go over. But if you kick off the match the right way, you find where the entry fraggers are, making their first entry into the building. That's a pivotal moment. Or you find here Dova here as Valkyrie spawn peeking out of console. Both are very pivotal moments to this match and really do determine as to how this round is going to play out. But besides that, that has been part one. My name is Cash. I appreciate y'all watching. So please feel free to @ me in the Discord. I will leave all the links below, or comments below as to what you think, or if you need any additional advice. Hopefully more parts will be coming out, but I just want to make sure that in the meanwhile I'm answering as much as possible. But again, y'all have a good one.